I'm Anuja Ghosalkar, the curator of this symposium called Connecting Realities. And this is my colleague and also the curator, Tuchmann. So welcome.
Welcome.
If today we are talking of documentary theatre as part of not just this festival, but what Kai and Anuja are doing is part surely of some sort of a movement.
The way this began was with my own practice of trying to question the way we were making theatre in India and the hierarchical relationship between director, playwright, actress. There was a certain discomfort and then later even an anger with the way we were making political theatre and the sort of violence it may have inflicted on my performing body. So there was a deep desire to question it. I can't be trying to push the boundaries of this discipline by doing one show 1 year, one show in 2 years. I felt like we needed to build a community.
Theatre history has this practice, especially in the 20th century, with all these clever men writing manifestos.
Documentary theatre should be feminist.
Back in 2013, I was in search of an aesthetic form that, of course, correlated a lot to non-linear forms of theatre and storytelling.
Reliance on reality.
Gathering here these 2.5 days are a kind of what I always called like a curatorial jam session.
So the idea was also not to carefully curate the performances, because again we would be authoring it in a way.
Actually, the audience themselves, in the confrontation with the work, generating meaning, also a diverse range of meaning. This symposium is, to me, a very unique and touching experience, which finally culminated yesterday in this panel with Ghosalkar and Tuchmann, where we produced at the same time words and tears. So actually our panelists, our speakers, they're helping us in shaping the curatorial framework
Absolutely.
For this festival.
What's happening outside is also shaping the curatorial agenda, because we can't escape that agenda anymore. It exists, right? And I think that's been the real test and the exciting bit about connecting realities.
So instead of looking at documentary theatre as like Rustam very correctly said, it's not a genre, not as a genre, not as a slogan, not even as a kind of conceptual theoretical category, but as a movement, then maybe this intelligence, this enthusiasm, and also this extremely sobering, extremely critical attention to detail, all these can be salvaged. Documentary theatre is also some sort of imperative. It asks us, reopen the archive. Something remains a problem. So in that sense, the documentary theatre is also theatre of problems. There are a whole host of unresolved problems that appear to be resolved. So that is the long-term political rationale of the documentary theatre.
Null Island is also untrue. Yet, precariously pivoted on the untruth of the Null Island is the truth, and therefore the credibility of the modern science of, say, the GPS.
There's also the immediacy of what the word that was brought up today in the last panel, which is the real. The question of the real. The real is something here and now. And here and now, which nevertheless is not something we can locate in exact historical or geographical map. Something, again, which is a problem, but a problem which cannot even be documented as yet.
And then, when no one was looking, once again, I put your poem in my mouth.
ये चाहते हैं, इसलिए गीत आहे शहीद दना गवारकरांचं माहीत असेल नसेल तरी गा हम लोगों ने भी इंग्लिश समझने का कोशिश बहुत किया है.
Now again the pressure is trying to coping up with English, because English has become language of Brahmins now. Because English has become the language of knowledge. So it is very difficult just being local. It is very difficult for a local person to become global.
तो बात ये कहने की है कि समानता, हम में जो डाइवर्सिटी है वो बिल्कुल बरकरार रखें, लेकिन डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की बात कौन करेगा? उसको अंडरलाइन करना पड़ेगा, उसको आगे जाना पड़ेगा. इसलिए हम कहते हैं स्थापू समानता, ये पोलादी एकता, स्थापू समानता, पोलादी एकता, ना ही धनी ये थे कुली, ना ही ताकत, ना ही धनी ये थे कुली.
The documentary theatre, let's put it like this, takes a decision already made. For instance, who was responsible for Auschwitz? Who was responsible for the Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombings, and so on and so forth? Who is responsible for the partition of India? And de-decides. That's the first move documentary theatre makes. It de-decides. So, what is the relationship between the document and the creative labor that is theatre? You know? So, to that extent, the documentary theatre says, no, we will not let the archive go to sleep.
Think of the archives as being in the middle of a story, the in-between space. It is the space between data and meaning over and over again.
So, drama is supposed to be a medium of sort of placing the problems. But today the problem is the medium itself, he says. The politics is in the very medium of that perception. So he calls it politics of perception. In all of this, then what is the role of the traditional heroic figure at the center of theatre, which is the actor?
माझं नाव राम. मला ह्या लोकांनी मारून टाकलं.
We are just the stage. The staging place. The ground you kiss and pray to and stamp your feet upon in equal measure before you dance, before you leave.
Documentary theatre is not just theatre of the real. It is indeed that. But it's also the real of theatre. And the real of theatre is as much of a problem as the problems outside. But I'm also going to say documentary theatre, which is a theatre to come. Thank you very much.